Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to the shed. How are you today? I hope all is well wherever you are in the world. Here in West Virginia, another wonderful day. It's Wednesday, it's game night. It is also the beginning of my Thanksgiving weekend, so here's to that, of course. And I'm just going to cut to the chase. We need to talk. If you've been with the show for any length of time, I have done a number of these we need to talk type episodes where I have sat here and I've told you that I'm not really sure what the future is, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try that, and I'm going to do this, and this is going to change. Well, you know, and some of that I've done, and some of it I have not done, partially because I make that type of episode, and then I take your feedback. And I'm more interested in your feedback than my own. I'm more interested in what you're interested in than my own interests. So I thought I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it just didn't work. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and tell you what I did, and then what I hope comes from that. Okay? Next Friday will be the 180th episode of this show. That is 9 months that I've been doing this, and I'm super proud of that fact. I feel like I deserve to be super proud of that fact. It's not an easy thing to do, to come here every day and talk to you and put myself out there. And, you know, I say things. I don't hold back. I don't keep anything from you. You know that. I say whatever. And that's important to me. It's important to me to keep the show transparent, to keep me transparent, because I think for me, that's the product, I guess, is the transparency, is the honesty, and hopefully in the future you will be a part of that product. So I got an email. Last week I asked for topics on the Twitter and on the Facebook, and I got tons of those. I put all those on the thing. And then I got some really good, strong feedback because I asked for it. I said, hey, I need some feedback. Well, I got this email. This email is very, very long. I copied it here. It's from a longtime viewer, Richard Miles. I'm not sure if Richard's watched every episode, but man, he this email is super detailed. He picked out, like, go watch this episode and don't do that again. Watch this episode, you know, like he's obviously been with the show for a while. So I want to read you some of this. I'm not going to read you the whole email. There's a whole lot of detail in here, but this is a very critical email, and that's not a bad thing. Trust me, it's not a bad thing. So let me just go through this. He says, "Hi Chevee, in one of your episodes, you candidly discuss how your YouTube account manager called and went over the tips to increase your viewership. The few tips you shared were entirely correct. However, they represent only one side of the coin. You absolutely need to ensure that all of your stuff is optimized, but you also need to focus on your actual content and delivery." I agree. Agree 100%. He goes on to talk about, I don't want this to become a job or feel like a chore, but I also need to plan more, and I also need to be doing more proactive pre-show. And I used to do that. I did when I first started this show. I had my notebook that I carried with me everywhere, and I wrote down, and if you remember, I'd always refer to that notebook. And I stopped doing that at some point. I'm not sure why. I want to say that, you know, the feedback from you has always been that you enjoy these types of conversations the most, when I just let it go. And so it became easy to just turn the camera on and talk. Just dream up an idea and just talk, and not pre-plan. I used to kind of run through the show in my head and think about what I was going to say and write down ideas, and I stopped doing that. Now, in this past week, I've been doing it again. And I'm really proud of the content I put out last week. I think it was strong content. So that's partially due to this email. And so I'm going to keep doing that, obviously. And I'll show you that in a second. The first thing that you need to have in your videos, accepted by wider audiences, tighten up your delivery. And he goes on to talk about how I ramble sometimes about what the hell ever that has nothing to do with the subject of the video. And if somebody came here to see something about said subject, then and then I just blab, they're not going to continue watching it. And like I said, his main point here is, I would suggest to either take more time before the show to prepare or try to realize rambling sooner, meaning that I cut myself off. I usually do cut myself off because I realize that I'm going on and on about something that has nothing to do with whatever the subject was of that day's show. So we're going to fix that. Again, let me get through this email and I'll show you how we're going to fix that. What you've got to take into consideration is keeping a viewer's interest. If an episode promises you'll be talking about topic X, but the first 5 minutes talk about other random things, you've probably lost a lot of viewers. You're absolutely right. That's what I just said. In your few videos, and here's where we're getting into what I've done and how we're going to continue forward. In a few videos, you ask for topics and such. This is fine for you to do on your personal Facebook page. But from within a video, it looks a little tacky, perhaps unorganized, and like you really don't know why the camera is on. And I really want to say thank you for that message, because the truth of the matter is, for the last 8 of the last 9 months, I really haven't known why. I just do this because I know it feels good, and I'm winging it every single day. It really is that unorganized. It really has been that unorganized for a very long time. In the beginning, it was organized. I kind of just let it go, and I just talked, and I just accepted the fact that 30 of you come back every day and watch the video, and I was fine with that. But I do want the channel to grow. I do and love the conversations that we have here, and I want to keep that going. So that sentence right there probably more than anything kicked me in the butt. So thank you. What excites me about the show is the audience participation. The fact that you play calls from viewers is amazing and fantastic. Like this guy.
Deep within the hills of northern West Virginia.
Love that. That's good. The fact that you play calls from viewers is amazing and a fantastic way to connect with viewers. I know you don't want to have days that are set in stone, like Wednesday is day X, and that's okay, but you should have a list of topics you want to talk about and ask for participation on those subjects. Is that what we're talking about? Maybe. You want to mention this on a few episodes, at least at first, in order to give enough time for people to call in with their stories, and you wouldn't air the episode until a few people have shared their stories. And then he goes on with a whole bunch of other stuff. And that's where I'm going to stop reading the email and talk to you about what I have done. What I have done is completely redesign The Daily Shed. TheDailyShed.com was essentially just a place for people who want to subscribe to the show via RSS to do that. And as well, for a time, I was doing audio-only podcast version of the show, and I hosted that on TheDailyShed.com. And there was like, I don't know who was listening, because I stopped doing it for a month and nobody commented and said, hey, where's the audio version? So I'm done with that. It's not too much extra work, but it's enough extra work that it bothers me, and that's why it doesn't happen. Whereas I can post the day's episode automagically to the website, and so Google sees the analytics. But what I've done, I've cut all that crap out. You go to the webpage now, it looks nice and clean. I invite you to do so. There's 3 basic links. One takes you here to the channel. One is a little bit about me and what I do and the gear that I use. And the other one is the calendar of topics. This is what we're going to do starting today and going forever forward. The next few weeks of the show, and maybe even months if we get a backlog of topics, will be, I don't want to say set in stone, but they'll be on the calendar. You'll be able to look at any given time at what next week's topics are, what next, the week after that's topics are. And if you have something that you want to contribute to that, you can call in. Call-in number is 304-602-7433, and you can leave a message about that subject. And when we get to that show, I will play your message, I will react to you, I will talk with you, we will have a genuine conversation. It'll still be live. I'm not going to be pre-recording episodes because I've tried that and I didn't like it. I much prefer to have me, the day I release this is the day that I record this. So go check out the new calendar. It's thedailyshed.com/calendar, and that will... you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it's a Google Calendar. You can add those days to your calendar. If you're really interested in seeing next week's whatever, you can add that to your calendar so you get a reminder. You can use that list as a way to write me emails, send me stories about that particular subject that you think are interesting, send me tweets about that subject, calls, anything that I can share here on the show to bring you more into it. It would be super helpful, not only to me, but I think to the whole audience. I think the more people we can get involved in this conversation every day, the more I will enjoy doing the show. I will not feel like I'm being, like it's a job. I work really good with direction. The production part is the part that I've been trying to figure out, and I finally think I know what I want to do. This is what I want to do. So these subjects that are coming up are all your suggestions. And I say there, hey, here's a place to ask for suggestions. I'm going to do. I am working on a submission and voting system. I'm going to code it myself because everything I've found doesn't work right the way I want it. I want it to just simply be, you submit a topic, it goes onto the topic poll. People can vote for the topics that they want to see, and the topics that are near the top will slowly get rotated into the schedule along with the things that I want to talk about. Now remember, I said the calendar is not set in stone. It's not. This show will still be shot daily. The episodes will be released the day I shoot them. That's not going to change. And if something happens, say, a large news story or something happens to me that I want to talk about that day, I might just scrap that day's topic. Or it's never going to be scrapped, but I'll move it to a different day. So don't hold me to the calendar, but hold me to the calendar. Hold me to the calendar by calling in 304-602-7433. Call in. Leave me messages about those subjects so that as we get to them, I can include your messages. I can answer your questions live. Ask me questions. Tweet me. Email me. Chevee@thedailyShed.com. And I think this is going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the year here with you. Yeah. By the way, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Doing a special What I'm Thanks For show. Please, please, please call in. Leave me some voicemails. 304-602-7433 that I can play on tomorrow's show. Let me know what you're thankful about. Leave comments below letting me know what you're thankful about. Tweet me what you're thankful about, or email me what you're thankful about. I would love to put together just a nice package of thank yous for tomorrow's episode. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome and continuing to encourage and support me. Thank you for everything that you have done for me here on this show. I love you guys. So I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from asktheexpert.customerhelp.com. Is lamb red meat? Yes, lamb is a red meat. The amount of the protein myoglobin. I just learned this the other day. Did we do this? The animal muscles determines the color of meat. Lamb is called a red meat because it contains more myoglobin than chicken or fish. Other red meats are beef, veal, and pork. Yeah, it is.